All right. Welcome back to the Run.down post-game show. Knicks lose 129 to 123 in overtime to the Los Angeles Lakers. Um, if you wanted to watch an absolute masterclass in losing, tonight was the night to watch Julius Randle get to work in the clutch. I mean, game started off pretty shitty, so you knew this wasn't our night. I mean, you had Russ hitting like a three in like what the first quarter or whatever it was,
Yep.
and after I saw that, I was just like, all right. We started off pretty pathetic though as a team, shooting the ball pretty badly. Um, I don't know if it was really the Lakers defense or us just not really getting like, or if there was just like a lid on the basket for us. Either way, it wasn't a good start. Um, Quickly came in, did quickly things, was amazing, got us back into the flow of things. Hartenstein also coming in helped us a ton. He's been putting together a solid stretch of basketball lately. Can't complain. Arguably his best game of this season. And we wasted it in an L. Jalen Brunson, another 30-point game. Can't complain there. Oh, there's some things you can't complain about, at least with
I
his
can complain
style
about
of
a lot of
play.
that game. That game
But
fucking sucks.
but yeah, I mean, Jalen Brunson basically like carries us to the end of regulation with his scoring. And lo and behold, last play of the game after Brunson gets a beautiful charge on Anthony Davis. Absolutely stunning. Steps right in front of him. This coach draws up a play for Julius motherfucking Randle to get the ball and to do God knows what. I don't know what he was thinking. He had two on him. He should have immediately swung it back. Brunson was open, I think, towards like the top of the key or the wing.
Yeah, the wing.
He did like some like double hezzy fade away.
The worst part was he took like 2 seconds to get into the action. Like the clock was running, and he took like 2 seconds to get into the action. Still had Brunson open on the wing with like 3 seconds left on the clock, and then just decided to keep driving. And then LeBron came and doubled him, and then like he tried to spin pivot and then lost track of time. Like it made no sense.
He is the absolute worst person to have the ball in the clutch. Like his brain just goes.
Tyrese, it takes him 2 seconds to make every decision. You get that, right?
He's
never made a quick processing decision ever in his entire NBA career. Every single time. There was a play tonight in the first half when he got the ball in the corner, and it was either Brunson or Grimes was literally uncovered in the corner next to him, and he just couldn't make the quick. Like, I get that he's way better at basketball this season than Obi Toppin, but there's still like in my head, like, man, like just Obi just makes decisions faster, and if we're gonna have Brunson. Like, I don't know. I'm not.
If we're just gonna run the Jalen Brunson show and just have guys space out or whatever, and just like stand in the corners, why not just have someone that's gonna do it more willingly than Julius Randle? Because like overtime was Julius Randle attempting to make it the Julius Randle show in overtime.
Hey man, he got the superstar handshake with LeBron after the game. That's worth 20 points to him. Honestly, that was like half the reason he played the game.
I honestly think that he was like trying to have a back and forth with LeBron James, and like it's like, dude, you're not him in the clutch at all. Like you cannot do that.
He's not him ever. It's Julius Randle.
And like I mean, tonight was like. It was so bizarre because like I understood the Randall benching because like I mean not the Randall benching. I wish it was a Randall benching. I understood the RJ benching because like he didn't have it tonight, and like Quickly and Grimes were just playing better on both ends. Mm-hmm. But like man, to like reward Julius Randle with not even just like keeping him in, but also giving him the last shot of the game.
It wasn't, but that's the weird thing is like. Randall wasn't just rewarded with his normal rotation. He was given more minutes. He started the fourth quarter. I don't understand what that decision was. Like he was awful all game. The team's best minutes came when Obi was on the court. What was there like a matchup decision? Was he matching him up with LeBron? What was because he definitely wasn't pulling him. I just don't understand what that was. Like if you want to play Randall as normal minutes, fine. And you want to say like you've been our best player this season, I'm not gonna overreact to one game, fine. But giving him more minutes and extra runs so he's more tired down the stretch when he clearly doesn't have it, that was just such a bizarre decision. And unsurprisingly, Quickly played the last 22 minutes of the game because, again, Thibodeau doesn't know that you're allowed to take a sub out and put him back in. Like, if you're a sub and you're going to play the end of the game, you're just basically playing until your legs fall off. That's it. I didn't understand to start Randall the fourth quarter. I didn't know what that was. It was probably just a Tibbs panic, like creating the worst case scenario in his head and overreacting to it, but it didn't help the Knicks. It was just really weird. It's really weird how the bench guys have to prove, once again, they have to prove they can stay on the court. And this player is telling you that he doesn't have it tonight and he gets more minutes. It's just, I don't know. I'm trying to hold in like the rant, like the macro rant of macro rants.
Nah, tonight's the night to let it loose, man.
It's just so obvious.
It was such a pathetic showing.
But it's not even about tonight. It's just so obvious that this team has no ceiling with Randall and Tibbs together. No one will. Tibbs has no ability to rein Randall in. So this is just. It's back to the whole like, yeah, we can talk about this game, but it's a pointless. It's a pointless season again because we're not. Nothing that's happening matters at all. When the team is finally really good and is actually contending, Julius Randle won't be doing this because no team with Julius Randle doing this can contend. So it's a pointless exercise. Jalen Brunson will not be taking 29 shots on a team that's contending for a title. He won't be having 10 of his possessions be he dribbles the ball up the court, doesn't pass to anybody, and just shoots. That's not an offense. That's not a championship offense. This is the lowest ceiling team. This combination of players and coach is the lowest ceiling team in the league, I would argue. They're not going anywhere. So this is just all a waste of our time. Get rid of the coach. Like that's the only answer. They're not gonna. I believe in Julius Randle. I think he's shown enough. I think he's proven to us that he can have smart shot selection. That he can try when he's asked to try. I believe in Jalen Brunson. I think he's a really good player. I believe in Grimes and Quickly, and I believe in RJ, and I believe in Mitch. And Hardenstein had another good game tonight. I believe in these players and this collection of talent. There's no ceiling with Tibbs because he has no idea how to rotate, no clue how to run how to build an offense. Don't care that they're top X in offensive rating because they're bottom 5 when the opposing defenses start trying. So this is all just a waste of time. Nothing that is happening right now, except for the growth of the young players, is going to be relevant at all if and when this collection of players starts contending. So we're just sort of kicking the bucket up the road and walking in quicksand. End of rant.
I mean, I really don't know where to go with this team. I mean, after the Nets loss, it was like I expected the Nets loss, so like I wasn't too upset about it. But like,
I expected the Lakers loss tonight. I thought it was gonna be because of the reps. It wasn't because of the reps. That was the problem. I expected like the whistle to be like filthy. I expected LeBron to get like 20 free throws tonight, and he actually only had like he had 7, which is like fine.
We got a ton of calls in our favor.
They called it for us, which is funny.
We wasted a good reffing game. We wasted a good Quickly game. We wasted a good. Yeah, we wasted a good Scott Foster game. We wasted a good Isaiah Hartenstein game. It's just
I mean, Brunson and Randall are legit merchants. We're gonna get a lot of beneficial whistles because they're crafty with. I mean, we can hate on guys like Harden and Trae Young all the time, but like Brunson and Randall are kicking their legs out and swinging their arms around and falling all over the place all the time. Like we just put up with it because we root for them, and so we get a lot of calls, and I feel like that goes underrated by Knicks fans.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score here. Wow, really great Hartenstein game. 16 and 13 off the bench. Manuel Quickly gives you 19, 8, and 3 rebounds. I thought
Hartenstein played his ass off, man. Like that.
I mean, the way that he was able to he was doing the Tyson tip out. Like he was doing the Tyson tip out in that possession. Like every time that we got a rebound, like he was just tipping it out. And it was insane that we couldn't get any points off that possession at all.
Like it's almost like their legs were It was
tired.
all the guys who had played the last 20 minutes shooting threes and not coming close. Randall missed a 3 short, Brunson missed a 3 short, and quickly missed a 3 that almost didn't hit the rim, and he was uncovered. It's like, gee, maybe if you play 20 straight minutes. Sorry.
No, you're totally right. Like, these guys, they're gassed, and like, if we want to be able to make shots late in games, guys can't be gassed. Like, I don't know.
The problem is like, I think they've put themselves to like a loop where it's like, I don't trust Deuce, I don't trust Sims, I don't trust Obi. I feel like right now we can agree that he doesn't trust those guys. Like Sims starts, but it's more like a spot start. And like with Deuce is there to essentially soak up 10 to 12 minutes of Brunson a night. And with Obi, it's like, again, he's there to soak up 12 to maybe 15 on a good night of Randall's minutes. So it's like, when you're essentially running like a 7-man rotation when Mitch is healthy, like, dudes are just gonna have dead legs all the time. And that's a problem.
But whose fault is it that Obi is just there to soak up 12 to 15 minutes? Like, that's not a thing. He's a good player. He's a good player who can play. Like, he if he was on any other team, he'd be playing 25 minutes a game. And nobody would be talking about him as this, like, hindrance. Like,
I don't know. But, like,
he did fine on LeBron and Anthony Davis in the first half. Like, I'll make a friggin' thread about it. His defense was excellent in the first half. And
I thought also his rebounding was pretty good.
He had 5 rebounds in 6 minutes. Like, he was just. The last comment is James saying he wants to see me punch a hole in the wall. Oh my god. I just think that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It happens all the time with Tibbs. We're at the point where, the roster's not good enough. We got to upgrade the roster. Are we sure the roster's not good enough? Like, okay, the roster's not good enough to win a title. But is the roster better than this? Yes. I think it is. Like, can Deuce really only play 8 minutes in a night? Can Obi really only play 10 minutes in an overtime game?
The thing with Deuce is, like, the offense has to come around. Like,
I think he can't come around if his coach doesn't have faith in him. It's an egg thing. He doesn't get to do anything.
But his role in the NBA is going to be what he's doing now. It's you take spot ups, you have the ability to run a couple pick and rolls a game, and realistically allow your offense to coming off catch and shoot. He needs to be able to hit those shots, and he's not hitting those shots.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right. I'm just saying that, like, he played 8 minutes tonight. No one develops you can't develop a rhythm in 8 minutes. Like, that's just not. Or he played 9 minutes.
Yeah, I understand the chicken and the egg thing, but it's like you need to be able to perform your role first, and then like you expand your game. You know, like the thing with Deuce is like I think a lot of us agree. Like, should Deuce be getting more ball handling reps? I don't know. I don't think he should, because I realistically think like his ceiling needs to be like, I don't know, not his ceiling, but like I feel like his role right now is basically you attack off closeouts and you hit threes.
Yeah,
just like play really good part of attack defense.
I agree with you, but the impact numbers are what they are. Like, we won him and Obi's minutes again tonight. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I agree with you. I agree that his offense has to be better if he wants like a legit meaningful role in the NBA. What I'm saying is that this is what we have right now. So you can't just this is the rotation, be like, well, they're not good enough. I'm just going to run Brunson and Randall into the ground.
I agree.
You have to try.
I agree, but at the same time, it's like this team is struggling for offense.
And they weren't struggling. They won their minutes.
Again,
they always win their minutes. Look at Deuce's impact numbers on the season. He's not killing them the way that people think they are. People are way too dependent on the eye test. Like, I get this.
They won his minutes by 1.
They still won his minutes
by 1.
How can he be killing you if they won when he was on the court? I don't understand. And I get, like, I'm not saying that single game plus minus means anything. I'm not only talking about this game. I'm talking about the macro, because they're winning his minutes on the whole by a lot. So this idea that he's out there killing them is just wrong. Look at the season-long impact numbers.
I agree. Like, his impact numbers are insane. Like, his on-off numbers are insane. I think Obi's offense are starting to rebound a little bit after the last couple of games. I agree with the impact numbers, but at the same time, it's like, how much of that is Emmanuel quickly willing that team?
Of course. I agree that he plays a bunch of his minutes with Quickly. I'm just saying that until playing Deuce Okay, so the Knicks have a plus 4.5 net rating when Deuce plays, and a plus 0.3 net rating when he sits. So
do we have his numbers when Quickly's off the court?
I don't have a Cleaning the Glass subscription, but I can tell you. Just give me 1 second. Filibuster for like 5 seconds. I'll find it. Just give me one second.
RJ lost me my parlay tonight. Thanks, RJ Barrett.
He lost me mine too, Sam.
Like, what the hell, man?
Did you have points or what'd you have?
I had 2 threes. Literally just asking him to hit 2 corner shots. His best shot all season. Couldn't even do that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really weird situation there. And it stems with Tibbs because he's the one that thinks every night has to be a decision between 2 of Quickly, Grimes, and RJ. He's the one who will never sit Randall. Like, RJ could play some 4. On a night like tonight when Randall's struggling, okay, not a night like tonight because the Lakers were playing really big. But there are going to be some nights when it could be Brunson, Quickly, Grimes, RJ. There are teams that can happen versus. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Sam. 394 of Deuce's minutes have come with Quickly on the floor, and they have a plus 10.5 net rating. So that would mean that the Deuce's non-Quickly minutes are really bad. How many minutes has he played total? He's played 394 minutes with Quickly. He's played. Anyways, back to the RJ stuff while I'm looking this up. It doesn't always have to be 2 of the 3 of them. It can be all 3 of them. And that's going to reach a point of, I'm not going to say of no return, but that's going to be, a pressure point because RJ wants to finish games. He hit that shot versus the Celtics. Like, as Sam has talked about many times, he's been the team's best clutch player until Brunson got here. So he's not going to accept, I'm starting, but the only time I ever finish is when I really have it going. Like, that's not going to fly with him for too long, especially when we lose a game like this. Like, if you're RJ Barrett, who we know has more confidence than anyone, deservedly or undeservedly, was he bad tonight? Yes, he was bad. He had 13 points on 13 shots. He has to be sitting in his locker like, man, I've earned like getting to close in that game, even though I didn't have my best tonight. And like, we didn't win that game. That's just how those guys think. And you compound enough of those games, it's going to be a pressure point, in my opinion.
I agree. Like, not to mention, like, the whole OG talk, like, yeah, I've thought about this for a while, and I'm like, they're kind of hitting a crossroads with RJ because they gave him the contract, but at the same time, they shopped him all off season. And now it kind of feels like they're getting to the point where you're hearing the noise of it's Jalen, it's Julius, and then it's RJ. So, like, I think everybody's starting to see the kind of writing on the wall. And I kind of feel like with Tibbs basically doing that whole, like, I'll put you back in the game with 2 minutes left in the fourth that he's been doing for the last couple of weeks because Quickly your Grimes have been going. Like, I kind of feel like you're getting support where, like, yeah, they might be moving off him soon. I think really soon. I don't think at this deadline, of course, because, like, the money won't work, but, like, this offseason wouldn't shock me.
If you guys had, somebody made you have to make a decision, there's no option C. Option A is trade RJ for OG with the intention of re-signing OG. Option B is trade 3 unprotected picks 3 picks, 2 unprotected and 1 protected plus salary filler for OG. What do you think is a better package for the Knicks to give up?
2 unprotected and 1 protected?
Correct.
I would trade RJ. Because they need the unprotected picks to get the guy. Like, unprotected picks are going to be the currency that gets them whatever star that they want. And if they don't have those kind of picks, maybe if you want to talk me into, like, 2023 unprotected, so this year's pick, and then, like, 2024 unprotected, if you do, like, a draft night deal, you could talk me into it. But, like, the problem with RJ is, like, I feel like the best utilized version of RJ Barrett would be coming off the bench, but it's never going to happen. So you have either you're going to like trade him or you're going to start him. And if he comes on the bench, he's checked out. Like, that dude is done.
There's a reason that Quickly keeps playing over RJ down the stretch, it's because RJ's biggest strength over Quickly is completely redundant in an offense down the stretch that's always just going to run through Brunson and Julius.
Yep.
Like all the other stuff, all the other non-initiating and non-getting into the basket and creating that pressure quickly blows RJ out of the water. He's even better at guarding up. Like I would rather have Quickly guarding like Rui Hachimura or some like big wing than have RJ guard him.
Yep.
And you saw it tonight. There were two plays, in my opinion. One was kind of lucky, but when Rui had that side out of bounds turnover, it was Quickly racing out and putting pressure on him that caused it. And then there was also a play. I'm sure you guys remember the Julius travel off of the miss.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I freaking blacked out on the timeline.
Right before that, they did one of those plays where Quickly LeBron and AD ran screen and roll. LeBron forced the switch, so Quickly was on LeBron, and then or maybe Quickly was on Russ. It was one of the two. Yeah, Quickly was on Russ, and they ran AD Russ screen and roll. LeBron quickly trailed because Russ is that dude's athleticism still being what it is so impressive. Quickly trailed, and so Hartenstein had to help on Russ. And Quickly did that thing where he timed his duck in on the pass to AD perfectly. He contested the AD shot, and then he jumped up and beat AD for the rebound. That's the only reason Julius Randle got that rebound. Stuff like that is going to keep Quickly on the court no matter what he shoots. He could have shot 2 for 12 tonight, and Tibbs would have correctly stayed with him.
I also love how it's like blasphemous in the fan base to like suggest that like Quickly is actually this good. Like
he's better. He's better.
People on the timeline, you bring up Emmanuel Quickly is better, and like they'll be like, well, he struggled, blah blah blah. But it's like, well, he struggled scoring, but like, can anyone honestly point out any part of his game minus scoring that he was bad at the last 3 years?
Not even scoring. Really. Not even scoring. He was like 55 true shooting. Like there's not even a conversation. if RJ Barrett hit 55 true shooting, we would be doing backflips on the timeline. Are you kidding me? Like he aside from rim pressure, he's better than every facet of the game.
And even with the rim pressure, he's getting better and better and better and better at it steadily.
And he's drawing free throws. Like, yeah, he drew 6 free throws tonight. Like, so the whole like free throw merchant thing, and we already knew he was good at that. So like.
We're all so annoyed.
RJ Barrett literally makes the most sense on this team coming off the bench, and that's trade bait because Quickly is better than him and Grimes is better than him. Put it to bed. It's over. That's my face. Oh my god.
If you had to guess, who do you think is shooting better, like inside 5 feet this year?
Quickly.
You think?
Quickly said he like 52% on twos.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm legitimately guessing.
Yeah, because RJ's sub 50. If he hits 50% on 2-point shots, he's gonna like again field day. Like RJ having these dog shit efficiency nights is just going to tank. It's just going to like tank his efficiency. And when Quickly's having a bad game, like he's still a positive. He affects the court. So like
he's still defending his ass off. He's still making plays for others.
He's still our best processor.
He's still rebounding. Like he's still doing a whole bunch of shit that like RJ just like when he doesn't have it going, he's just like totally checked out of doing that stuff. Yeah. So
holy cow. You were very right.
Yeah.
Not just sort of right. So inside 3 feet, man, this is kind of shocking actually. Inside 3 feet, Quickly shooting 66%.
Yep.
That's so much better than I expected.
And RJ Barrett's at like 54%, if I remember correctly.
I'm about to pull him up. RJ is at 56%. So,
okay, so he might have gone.
But this is a huge caveat. RJ has attempted 295 attempts at the rim or inside 5 feet. Quickly's only attempted 87 attempts. That needs to be acknowledged. Like RJ's ability to get there is his best skill right now. And
but the problem is he can't leverage it. And that's been my argument for the last 2 years. Was like he can't leverage it as much as he realistically should be able to. Like you get top 10 paint touches, and you're a mediocre passer at best, and you don't finish well, and your free throws are average. He's gotten to the point where his free throws are average. So like,
I mean, 56%, and that's not even including the times he gets fouled and goes to the free throw line. That's probably like 1.2, 1.3 points per possession. I'd say that's leveraging it. It's not like elite. I'm not saying it's elite. I'm just saying it's a good shot. Like
I think it's an okay shot. I would just say like it would be better if he passed more on the drives. If he passes more on the drives, I can live with
that. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely 100% agree with you. Yeah.
But given how many of those shot attempts become shot attempts, like it should be higher. It needs to be higher, especially when like you're not that athletic as a player and you rely on craft and touch and finish. So it also doesn't help that he doesn't have a shot 3 to 10 feet either, or 16 to 30 feet. And his best shot 3 years in a row is the corner three. So that's just kind of been my opinion on RJ, where it's like offensively, he doesn't have a quote unquote go-to shot. And defensively, I don't even want to talk about defensively because defensively, he's just been lost this year. So like, I just, and I've said it for a while, I'm like, they're going to trade RJ Barrett at some point for whatever god they want. And if they get OG Anunoby, they're basically saying that we think OG Anunoby makes more sense than RJ Barrett for the long term. Because if you're getting OG Anunoby, you're getting OG Anunoby to extend him. So you're paying him essentially RJ Barrett money.
And this is why playing every minute and every game, like just playing every minute and every game, like, and just saying like, oh, we're just trying to win, and having no vision aside from the vague, like, yeah, we're going to get a superstar if one becomes available, isn't good enough. Because what you just described is exactly the catch-22 that the Knicks have been in for like 3 years. Because I think all three of us would agree that just from a pure profile standpoint, if this lineup, Brunson, Grimes, Randall, Mitch, is the lineup the Knicks want to move forward with, OG absolutely fits better than RJ at the wing, right? Like, can the three of us agree on that?
Yep.
Sam, do you agree with that? Muted.
What'd you say?
I said if Brunson, Grimes, Randall, and Mitch are your four, OG fits better than RJ at the three right now, right this second. OG would be a better fit at the three, just with those four. I'm not saying he's better. I'm just saying literally from a profile standpoint, he fits better at the three.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all agree with that. Do the three of us all agree, no matter what you think of RJ's impact right now, that his absolute ceiling is higher than OG's?
Yes.
Okay. Those two things, by definition, collide with one another, because you either want to do what's best for this core or you want to do what's best for the team's long-term ceiling. RJ has no chance to reach his ceiling if the team is run the way it's run right now. That's an absolute fact. RJ has no chance to reach his ceiling. But you need to decide what you're trying to do as a franchise, or like I said earlier, we're just going to keep swimming in in quicksand. It's just, there's so many examples of this.
Before Schwinn chimes in, I do want to get to the ad read before we get carried away, because I know.
Why did we let him on?
He got on. He has access.
Yeah, you can't stop me.
Let me get into the ad read before we really get carried away.
I own you, Tyrese. I own you.
NBA fans, it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of your hand with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, for a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you'll get a free bet back. Download the app now and sign up with code TBPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code TBPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show descriptions for details. Void in Ohio. Ohio, you suck. Schwinn, your thoughts on tonight's game before we get to some comments.
This game is like exactly why I think trading for OG Anunoby makes absolutely no sense with this coach. Like, because all of the trades I've seen that most people are suggesting, whatever, good or bad, and not what Raptors fans are suggesting, because they're like
they're on drugs.
Yeah, they're like a special brand of brain dead idiots up there who, I don't know, maybe they should stop doing fucking bath salts and worshiping to Scotty Barnes, who is just a massive fucking loser. And if I was a millionaire and I was him, I might get my fucking teeth fixed.
He actually had braces. I don't know what happened.
Well, I don't know, but someone should let him know that he ain't Michael Strahan. That shit doesn't work for him. So get the fuck out of here, fucking loser. But like all the trades I've seen, for the most part, that are like semi-rational, all involve the main rotation players who, we can go through it, but it's basically Brunson, RJ, Grimes, Randall, Mitch when he's healthy, Hartenstein or Sims. Hartenstein right now. Hartenstein's actually playing really well. He played really well tonight. Deserves a lot of credit. Quickly, and those are your main guys, right? Obi is, I don't even want to get into Obi because it doesn't matter what he does. And Deuce is, he's out there doing stuff. But like, if you just keep those guys and you add OG and Anunoby, what about what this coach is doing makes you think that he's going to be able to do that? Like what about that makes you think that he's going to be able to manage the minutes and keep everybody happy and have good rotations and stagger more? Like nothing he's done indicates that. So like my takeaway from this game is like you can keep shoving talent in Tibbs' face. If he can't manage it appropriately, it really doesn't matter. And like, look, I'm not going to do the whole, what should the fate of Tibbs' job status be tonight?
He should be fired.
I've made my stance on that clear. It is what it is. But like the idea that he just needs more talent. This is a top 10 offense in the NBA. The Knicks have a top 10 offense in the NBA, even though they don't apparently have some super duper mega star and don't have talent. I don't know.
And a top 10 defense before Mitch got hurt.
It's amazing to me that a team can have no talent and have a top 10 offense. I've never seen it before.
It's all the coach, Schwinn. Didn't you know he's working miracles like Jesus?
Yeoman's work.
Yeah,
2 fish and 5 loaves.
And to add to what you're saying, Schwinn, he wouldn't even use OG correctly. He would play no minutes at the 4. So it would just be a pure 3, which OG needs minutes at the 4. Like that's how you maximize him. But we're already struggling to get minutes for a backup 4. So like not only would the rotations become even more fucked, but the guy we're bringing in wouldn't even be getting the best version of him that we're seeing in Toronto. Like that's something you need to account for, is that what we're seeing from OG in Toronto is like the best possible spacing. That's how he's producing. That's not the paradigm he would exist in New York.
Look, if you get OG, half of the appeal should be using him at the 4. I mean, look, I don't think he should be like a full-time 5 or something, but we have seen games in the playoffs even where nurses used him at the 5, and it's gone okay. It's actually helped them win a few games. I'm not saying that, I wouldn't kill Tibbs if he never used OG at the 5, but he wouldn't even use him at the 4, which is fucking crazy. Like, to watch this game, he pulled Obi after 6 minutes in the first half tonight. Why? Because Rui Hachimura came back in. Like, what? He dropped 35 on Rui Hachimura last year. That, happened in an NBA game. He killed him.
Schwinn, those games didn't matter, remember?
It boggles my mind, and people they're okay with this. Oh, well, Obi, he's got to be more aggressive. How is he supposed to be more aggressive? He touched the ball like 3 times, shot it twice. What the fuck is he supposed to do here? It's just absolutely bananas to me.
He didn't set a single screen tonight, not one.
I really don't understand not involving him in screen actions. I really don't. It's baffles me.
It's like I can't believe some of the games recently have just been so bananas. Like to come out, you have 2 days off, okay? To come out as flat and just absolutely lifeless as they did. They didn't have any effort, urgency, juice to their offense.
Until
I actually thought
the defense
was fine to start the game. I didn't really have a problem with the defense other than Brunson not getting back, Randall not getting back on a couple of weird possessions. But like collectively, the defense was fine to start the game. But the offense, they had no juice. They were just walking the ball up, and just that they did that the entire game, which was really fucking weird to me. Especially, it's like you got Anthony Davis working his way back from a long-term injury. You could probably get him gassed if you make him run up and down the floor a little bit. Punted on that. You're just like, there's no movement off the ball, which is ridiculous.
Except Grimes.
Yeah.
Grimes is great.
It's ridiculous on its face, but it's even more ridiculous when you're playing a team like LA who has noted fucking space cadet defenders like Russell Westbrook and LeBron James on the floor. Like, those guys don't want to pay attention to anybody. They don't pay attention to anybody. They're just hanging out. And you let them hang out because you don't have any movement off the ball. And man, I got to say, Brunson scored the ball really well. If I got to watch another fucking possession of this guy dribble the ball out for 18, 19 seconds and then toss it to Quickly, just like, hey, dude, go do something against a set defense here. Like, I'm going to fucking punch I'm just going to literally break my TV because I'm just throwing my fucking remote at it. But it's crazy. And like, my thing with that is, yeah, you can sit there and blame Brunson for it. And I have, and I will, but like, Tibbs he's fine with that. That to him is fine. That's a fine possession. You watch some of these possessions are literally designed. Like there's how many possessions a game does Brunson come down, pitch the ball to Grimes, who then immediately pitches it back to him, which I don't even know what purpose this serves.
It's the most window dressing action ever. They never run a counter off it ever. It's always the same give and go.
Right. And it's like, what is the point of that? But the thing is, like, these possessions are being run for Brunson to just there's no other plan on these possessions. There's no other option on these possessions other than, okay, we want to just get Jalen going downhill with some reasonable spacing, and that's it. Like, there's really nothing else to these possessions. And then, like, look, Quickly had I think he had 13 points in the first half, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on 4 of 7 shooting.
He didn't. How many shots did he end up with? 12?
Yeah.
And he played like 21 minutes in the second half.
22 overtime. Minutes.
21 straight minutes.
This is not good offense. Like, this is not like, and this is not to say that the offense isn't efficient. Like, it's crazy to say this because they actually have a top 10 offense. I am almost positive this offense should and could be more efficient. And it's bananas. They don't try to do anything with this stuff. Like, I don't remember if it was Benji or somebody, maybe it might have been Benji, it might have been Ariel, who over the summer they posted, they did like a thread on Brunson, and they highlighted these actions that Dallas used him in as they use him as a back screener, or they'd have him run ghost screens. And he doesn't do any of that here. He does none of it. Quickly does it, but it's the most telegraphed thing because he's never going to get the ball on those actions. So the defense doesn't even pay attention to it. He'll go and set a screen, and then I don't know. And then you got like Brunson, like they bailed the possession. The possession got bailed anyway. But in this play today, where like it's out of a timeout too, which is hilarious. Randall clearly had no idea what the hell he's running, and so he waits like 6 seconds to get Randall in position, tosses Randall the ball, and then Randall just gives it back to him. And I'm like, if that was, and then they ran a pick and roll, him and Hartenstein ran a pick and roll. I'm like, if that was going to be the play anyway, did you really need to waste 6 seconds to get Randall to come over here and run this? You could have just been like, just stay there and I'll run the fucking ball screen now. Like, but like, you know what? Again, you can watch this. There's actually one play in the second half. I got to remember where it is. I got to look back at it. Quickly came down. Brunson came down. And Quickly, it was the first half. And Quickly had just scored the possession before, so he wanted the ball. And Tibbs, instead of letting him get the ball, he clearly told him to clear out, go to the other side of the floor. So no, sorry, it was the second half. He tells Quickly to go to the other side of the floor, and then he has Brunson. They run just a straight like token screen and clear out the spot for a Brunson ISO, and it's like, this is the stuff that absolutely drives me nuts. Like, I mean, I get that Brunson's an awesome offensive player. He's been really good this year, obviously. But, like, so is Quickly. Like, if you can call ISOs and these design sets just for Randall and Brunson, every time they're on the floor, the ball doesn't need to go to these guys. They're allowed to do shit other than, like, ISO for Randall and ISO for Brunson and run a post up for Randall and clear out the side for Brunson and like use your other talent. Like Hartenstein is actually playing better now. So now when we say stuff like, hey, maybe you can use Hartenstein as a passer, like you don't feel as stupid about it because he's actually playing well. But like this is the thing, like it doesn't matter how well Hartenstein is playing. He's not going to use it in that capacity at all. So it is what it is. And like, I think the Knicks are still fine. I think they're probably going to end up being the 7th seed. They're probably not going to make the 6th seed because it seems like we've just hit a wall with a certain level we're going to hit here. But like,
do we even want to be the 7th seed because we're going to play at home?
Yeah, I mean, probably not. That's the other thing. Like, Tibbs can't get these guys jacked up to play at home half the time. I don't know how that. Like, at some point, it has to be on him in some capacity to get that going. But like, players need to be better too. It's not just Tibbs, obviously. But like, I'm really at my wit's end watching some of this stuff, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You're not like, there's nothing's really gonna change because Tibbs is who he is, and that's the decision they made, keeping him for the rest of the year. But it is really like, I'm so sick and tired of people being like, what does Obi do? Like, he doesn't do anything. You're right. Because he doesn't get used. Is he on like career low usage at this point? I would imagine he is.
Obi, yes.
So, I mean, look, you turned a guy who was like, his entire selling point coming out of college was that he's an offensive, like, he's all kinds of movement and you can use him in a variety of ways, and we just don't use him at all other than to space the floor from the corners. So, I don't know. If I were a team that's like top 10 in pace or something, I would be trying to trade for Obi. Because I bet you, I promise you go.
I saw a Pacers fan that posted today that he Obi was one of their favorite buy low candidates.
So I'm just looking. These are the top 10 teams in pace. Golden State 1, Lakers 2, Grizzlies 3, Pacers 4, OKC 5, Minnesota 6, Sacramento 7, San Antonio 8, Hornets 9, Hawks 10.
You do great on a bunch of those things.
OKC is kind of interesting.
Yeah, send him to San Antonio, man. Just send him to San Antonio.
I don't want to watch that shit.
Yeah, you don't want to watch it because you know that he'll all of a sudden be like, wow, can't believe this guy is averaging 18 and 8. Wow, this is amazing.
All right, 18 and 8, we're like 13 and 2. Anyway.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, we saw what he did at the end of last season with minutes.
I guess the Raptors 905. I don't care. Anyway, he'll be a decent role player. He won't be much, but like,
how do you know? Like, I don't understand.
He doesn't know. This is the thing. Tyrese just says this shit. He doesn't know. If it was up to Tyrese, we had to have Jalen Brunson because we didn't have a point guard. Lo and behold, maybe we had a fucking point guard of the team the entire time. Like,
no, I said that IQ was a good point guard. I said Jalen Brunson was better.
Is he better? I don't know that. I don't know how we can determine that because all I know is that magically every time Jalen Brunson's on the floor without Emmanuel Quickley, we lose those minutes. And then all of a sudden he's on the floor with Emmanuel Quickley and we become this really great team. So I don't know how anybody can say with 100% confidence Jalen Brunson's a better point guard. You want to tell me Jalen Brunson's a better scorer? I'm 100% with you. Jalen Brunson's the best scorer on the team, no question. If you're talking about actually playing point guard, defending point, getting your team organized, getting your team into offensive sets. Like, Brunson is just, he's an incredible scorer. I mean, the guy, I don't even know what the hell he's doing at the time. And then all of a sudden he'll end up like hitting some floater. But like anybody that tells you that Jalen Brunson is a true point guard and Emmanuel Quickley is just a nice combo guard or something, I have no idea. I have no idea what they're watching. What is to me, Quickley is actually much better at organizing the team offensively. He's way better at it. I think the team has better flow when he's running point than basically anybody because RJ and Randall just, God knows what they're doing when they get to run the offense.
Dude, Quickley came in and literally his first possession, he got Randall an open 3. We had scored 5 points in the first 8 minutes. And he gets the ball on the first possession and he passes up an open shot. And I was like, oh God, is it going to be one of those games when Quickley's not pulling the trigger? But no, it was because he saw Randall and got him a look in the corner. And lo and behold, all of a sudden Randall's in flow. Like, what you're saying about organizing is so valuable. The reason it's important, like, see, this is why the whole Tibbs high floor thing, it doesn't matter because it comes with a low ceiling. Yes, if Brunson was to just run ISO every single time down the court, it would have a high floor because from a pure rational points per possession standpoint, he's an efficient isolation player. And yes, we wouldn't turn it over that often. but there's intangible things that have future compounding effects that don't go into that. For example, when Brunson is the only one to touch the ball for 4 possessions, his 4 teammates are less in flow and less likely to hit their next shot, less likely to be comfortable on their next touch. How many times do we see Grimes go 3 to 4 minutes between touches? More than that. Yeah. Quickly, when he's on the floor, and I think people had a good point about Quickly that sometimes he over dribbled when he was learning to play point. That we saw possessions last year all the time when he couldn't get to his spots and he would just dribble the air out of the ball, and those were ugly possessions. We don't see those anymore. He gets the offense going. Deuce always gets his hands on the ball. RJ always gets his hands on the ball. It's a much more democratic offense when Quickly's on the court. This isn't comparing them as players, but if we're talking about like pure point guards getting the ball on the court, this, as Schwinn's saying, this idea that Brunson's a true point guard who's, gathering the offense and organizing, and Quickly is just this combo guard who's forever going to be a bench player. I have no idea what those people are watching, and I'm 100% with what Schwinn was saying.
They're watching box scores.
Look, I don't. I don't know. I don't think Obi Toppin's going to go somewhere and all of a sudden become a superstar or something like that. I'm not saying that. But he started 10 games last year. He averaged 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in 35 minutes a game. So plus 6.8 net rating in those minutes, 68.8 true shooting, 20.6 usage. Like, he basically
true shooting is really almost 70%.
Yeah, he literally puts up last year. If you look at his numbers of the course of the season per 36, he basically put up Scotty Barnes' offensive numbers. And Scotty Barnes is apparently the greatest young talent that the league has ever seen. But like I don't know what he's going to be, but I think it's crazy. Like, you know what? Even if Tyrese is right, let's say Tyrese is right. Oh, he's just going to be a good role player. We could use a good role player right now.
Hell yeah.
Use another good role player. Maybe we should use another role player. Like, I don't know, man. I think buying into how Tibbs sets up a team where he wants Obi to just be like Jay Crowder. That's what he wants him to be. He wants to be Jay Crowder. And you can argue that, we'd probably be better if we had Jay Crowder doing that thing than Obi. But is that really is that what is going to help you ultimately maximize your talent and develop a team that you think could become a contender? I don't think so. I just feel like, if we allow Tibbs to shape everything about how we view the team and the players on it and what they are capable of, that's an issue. Like I'll give it as an example. I think RJ Barrett has become maybe even more singular minded when he puts the ball on the floor than he was his first 2 years. And is that all on Tibbs? No. But we saw this weird thing with Elf too, right? Where it's Elf was he sucked. Obviously we all despised Elf. But Elf was a 35 assist percentage guy for most of his career, 30 plus assist percentage guy most of his career. He played 1 year under Tibbs and he was basically like a black hole of suck. And again, is that all on Tibbs? No, but I do think if your entire coaching ethos is get to the rim and make the right rim reads, guys might
coaches
need more...
into some guys worst tendencies.
Yeah, I just think guys may need more instruction than that. And I'll shut up now so that Tyrese can talk.
Tyrese, do you want to say anything, or should we get into comments?
Into comments are good.
All right. Chris Bernhard, sick play call by Tibbs. Also, Julius could have, gotten the ball to Brunson when Braun was coming his way. Just big brain basketball through and through. Pretty embarrassing loss here. Everyone sucked besides IQ, JB, and iHeart. It's pretty special to shoot worse than 3 than the Lakers. And once again, the Julius Tibbs late game stupidity was back in action. Yeah, we actually mentioned before, way earlier in the stream, about Julius when he got the ball on that beautiful play call by Tibbs, as Chris Bernhard says, that when he got doubled, JB was open on the wing and he just kept going into a spin fadeaway, which was late anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's remarkable that Brunson gets you to this point, not even on just offense, but defensively, he gets you there too with the charge call. And you reward him by having him inball the ball to our worst clutch player I've ever seen in the last couple of years.
Worst clutch player? I don't know. Quentin Grimes, man. He's out there traveling against the Pacers. No,
Man,
look,
honestly, Julius, like from like the from the fourth quarter to overtime was probably a master class in how to lose a basketball game by him. From all the bad shots to like the turnovers, the travels,
he was point shaving.
Can I?
He had to be.
But so this is where I actually have sympathy for Julius. Look, the LeBron thing where he just decided
Schwinn having sympathy for Julius. What's going on here, guys?
No, okay.
It's a body double?
Did he fuck up the last possession of the game? Yeah, obviously he did. Why is he in that position? When has he shown you that he I'm not even joking. You can go back, you can look in our live game chat. We all made jokes before that play. I think James was Tibbs is probably going to tell him to take a step back contested 2 out of the timeout. And I literally said, he'll probably just tell him that, it's okay if he dribbles the shot clock, the clock out. As long as and because we've seen Julius do this multiple times, the end of quarters. He does this all the fucking time. And so you put a guy who has this bad habit of not understanding how much time is left on the shot clock, who struggles to make quick decisions when teams send help, and who's just not played a good game tonight, and you put him on the ball about 22 feet from the hoop with no movement going on against Anthony Davis in an ISO. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to blame Julius for that. To me, that is, you put guys in positions to fail. If they fail you, what the fuck? What did you think was going to happen? You know what? RJ Barrett struggled. He played a terrible game, at least for the first 3 quarters. I thought he played fine in the fourth quarter. Actually started making some shots. But you want to know who might actually make a better decision there? Probably RJ Barrett. I know Jalen Brunson sure as shit. Jalen Brunson would at least got a shot up. But RJ Barrett actually randomly has been very clutch for us throughout most of his career. He's come up with a lot of big shots. Randall,
not to mention Schwinn, it was another spot where Tibbs missed a very obvious substitution to put RJ in for Hartenstein. This isn't a bashing Hartenstein decision. It's if we're going to ISO Randall, let's give him the maximum amount of space. There wasn't a screen set for him. So if you're going to have Randall go to work against Davis, have the other 4 guys standing beyond the arc, there's a reason LeBron was able to help, and it's because they didn't care about Hartenstein.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just I'm just not going to blame Julius for it, that possession. But look, to start the game, they didn't lose that game because of that possession. They didn't lose that game because Dennis Schroeder made the dumbest 3 in the history of mankind. They lost that game because they came out at the start of each half and punted the first 6 minutes of each half.
I'm so tired of teams hitting fake shit against us. By the way,
Max Christie.
Yeah, how about that Max Christie corner 3?
That shit was
is Satan not tired? Can he give us a break?
Holy
shit.
Dude, every time it happens, I'm like, is God in the building? God is not in the building.
No, he's clearly not.
The Lord is not with us tonight.
Nope. Dude, he's never an MSG. He fucking hates
the Max
MSG.
Christie bullshit, the Troy Brown Jr. bullshit, the Dennis Schroeder bullshit.
I mean, we had Scott Foster on our side, so
Dude,
and you got to say the refs actually called a pretty deep. They called a fine game. I had no issue with them. I know the one was the goaltend that they reversed, but honestly, we weren't winning that game.
We had already lost. We had already lost the previous position.
When Schroeder made that shot, I was like, yeah, all right, we played a good game. We gotta pack it up. We're going home. And then they came out in the third quarter just flat, and I was like, yeah, all right.
By the way, Schwinn wasn't on yet, but he's the one who liked the tweet, so I figure I'm going to share it with Sam and Tyrese. RJ declined to speak to reporters, so literally 2 minutes before that tweet, we went on we talked about how this is gonna come to fruition. It can't RJ is not going to accept not playing end of games for
It's this. He has put himself. He has painted. He's pigeonholed this team into such a weird way, where Quickly can't be on the even if Quickly plays with Brunson all the time now, which is awesome because they play really well together. But when Quickly's on the floor with RJ or Randall, he's kind of not really running point guard half the time. And then I don't know what the hell was going on with the Deuce thing in the fourth quarter today, where he's like, has Deuce bringing the ball up to initiate the sets. Like, again, like this is another one. People are like killing Deuce, like, why he's not even looking at the rim, like, because he's not supposed to on these plays. Also, why is he in this position? Like, why are you putting him in this position? But like, his inability to even trust for a second that we can survive for a couple of minutes in the fourth quarter without Randall on the floor or without Brunson on the floor, because those two guys, in his opinion, they have to be on the floor. That makes that and because he will also he has to have a 5 on the floor, right? He's got to have a true 5. He's got to have Brunson. He's got to have Randall on the floor. So he creates this dilemma where it's like, oh my God, like what am I supposed to do? How can I manage 3 guys in 2 spots? And it's like, it's probably not that hard, dude. Like why are we acting like it's impossible?
He's an old man with dementia. It's really hard for him.
I'm just look. Who would you say is the deepest team in the league? Memphis? Is that probably accurate? Clippers. Okay.
Clippers.
All right. So I'm gonna look at the Clippers here. All right. And I know their minutes are all really fucking weird because they have like.
Okay, we said Boston. We can say Boston because Boston Celtics.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second then. So Celtics. All right. This is their minutes rotation, and mind you, they have 2 stars right on that team. So it's not like they don't have stars and they have to only win because of depth or something. Okay. These are their minutes. Jason Tatum, 37.5. Jaylen Brown, 36. Okay. That's pretty much in line with something Tibbs would do with his top 2 guys. Marcus Smart, 32.4. Al Horford, 30.9. Grant Williams, 27.8. Derek White, 26.4. Malcolm Brogdon, 25.0. Robert Williams, 23.1. Hauser, 14.6. And those are their top 9 guys. And those are the guys that are consistently in the rotation no matter who plays. Okay. Now you compare that to the Knicks. The Knicks. Okay. This is before tonight's game. Okay.
NBA.com will have I guess the updated ones will be skewed, but they'll have the updated one if you want them.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I'll just read them off the beat ref though because it's easier. But,
okay, go for it.
Yeah, Julius Randle, 35.7. RJ Barrett, 34.7. Brunson, 34.4. Grimes, 29.9. Quickly, 27.4. Mitch, 26.9. Cam, who's on the rotation, so it doesn't matter. He's at 21.9. But after that, Fournier, not in the rotation, 18.5. And then next, Hartenstein, 18.5. Obi, 15.4. Jericho, 14.9. Miles McBride, 13.2. Like, there's a massive difference there. You don't have anybody. The Celtics have 4 guys playing under 30 but above 20. They have 4 guys playing above 30, okay? And then they've got a 14.6 minute guy. The Knicks have 3 guys playing above 30 and then 4 guys between 30 and 20. And that's basically it. After that, your next guy is Hartenstein at 18.5 and then Obi at 15.4. This is not healthy. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not. And you can just forget the numbers. Just watch these games. Like, you can watch when we play the Celtics, right? You'll see Tatum come in, and then he you'll see like another coach make 3 different rotations while Tibbs still has the same exact lineup out there. And multiple coaches steal minutes for their best guys against our bench like that. The Nets did this.
There's nothing, Schwinn, more infuriating than the other team getting off to a big lead against us and subbing first. It's like a slap in the face. Like as a fan who sees what's going on, like it'll be the 5-minute mark. We'll be down 21-10, and then they'll put their sub there, and they'll already have their bench in. They're already working their way into their bench minutes, increasing the lead as Tibbs is just like, well, gotta roll with the starters. And then it's like, I don't know. There's just something about that just drives me absolutely insane because it just seems to like symbolize everything you're talking about. With like it all starts there. It all starts at the beginning of the games when he's just like, no matter what happens, my starters are playing the first 8 minutes of this game, save an injury or foul trouble.
And I just want to bring this up before I shut up. But in the Brooklyn game, if you watch both halves, I don't watch Brooklyn all the time. I don't know if these are their normal rotations or if they adjusted to steal minutes against Tibbs. All I know is that the start of the second quarter and at the start of the fourth quarter, Tibbs has our all bench unit plus RJ out there. And the Nets had Kyrie, they had Joe Harris, and they had, I think they had Claxton. I know they had Claxton on the floor. I'm pretty sure that's 3 of their starters.
Mm-hmm.
Like against 4 bench guys one of whom, most fans are saying is unplayable in Deuce, another who a special portion of our fan base, led by my good friend Tyrese London, is Obi Toppin. And then, like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't. You're putting those guys in such a tough position, and he doesn't trust them as it is. But it's like maybe you don't trust them because you're putting them in the shittiest possible positions like this consistently.
And they only play with each other. So you're not getting, like, Deuce isn't getting elevated by Randall, which could happen. Or Obi isn't being elevated by Brunson. I talk about this all the time. And then to go along with that, when they all play together, and now, like you just said, because other teams are doing this, like the Bucks. Dude, the Bucks had Drew and Giannis starting their second shift of the game before Randall or Brunson had come out of the game. Because they come out early in the first and then come back in late in the first. So Randall and Brunson are still both going on their first shift, and Giannis and Drew have already gotten rest. They're beating us. And it's just insane. But then you bring the bench in. They only play with each other, and Tibbs is like, oh, God, their minutes don't look great. Okay, got to get the starters back in. All of this compounds on itself and leads to the self-fulfilling prophecy of, I'm just going to ride my starters until their legs fall off. And it's just like, dude, all you have to do is rotate more liberally, like just a little bit, like end these guys' shifts sooner and do it more often. Let subs play multiple shifts, create more lineup combinations, have more democratic minutes, and the team will play better. It just will. Or excuse me, the bench guys specifically will play better. I'm not gonna say I know that Brunson and Randall would keep, like, maybe the reason they are playing as well as they are is because their coach has just been like, you're going to play all the minutes. I'm going to get you always. You're always going to be in rhythm. You're always going to have a feel for the game. You're always going to be